Okay, so last week we watched a video about four guys that went to Haiti. I'm gonna say this video, I watched it about 13 years ago. I watched it, and a friend of mine showed it to me, and he said, "Hey, watch this video. Don't tell me anything. Just think about it." So I watched it, and I wanted to help out. After watching it, I wanted to help out. Started thinking, what can I do to help out? I was born in Guatemala. So for those of you that don't know where Guatemala is, let me show you guys a map. It's the country that is right after Mexico. I was born in Guatemala. I was like, I want to do something with the country where I was born. I want to go there and help out. At the moment, I didn't know what to do, but I was like, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go to Guatemala and help out. For those of you that don't know Guatemala, or well, first, not everybody knew where it was. Now that you know where it is, let me tell you what is Guatemala known for. Guatemala is known for being the home of the Mayans. The Mayans have these ruins, these temples that they created. They were the inventors of the number zero. They were great, great mathematicians. I do have my degree in mathematics, and I do tell people the reason why I am a mathematician because I am a Mayan descendant. They invented this ball game that is very familiar to the sport that we know as basketball nowadays. So that's one thing Guatemala is known for. Guatemala is also known for being very colonial. There's this town called Antigua Guatemala, as you guys can see, is very, very beautiful. I grabbed this picture from the internet, and in there, I've been there. I've been to Antigua. It is very, very nice. They do take care, very, very good care of tourists. So if you ever go, you're going to be safe. They do take care of tourists. They value tourism. As a matter of fact, there's people that go and stay there to learn Spanish. They live there for years. So there's a lot of Spanish learners. So if you do go there, if you speak Spanish, great. And if you don't speak Spanish, you only speak English, you will be able to get along with people there because they will understand your language. Like they do speak English there as well. But I was not born there. I was born in a town called Quetzaltenango, the city called Quetzaltenango. I would like to hear you guys try to say that, pronounce it. Even Spanish speakers have trouble saying the name. It is called Quetzaltenango. But Quetzaltenango, here's the home. This is downtown Quetzaltenango, and in there, as you guys can see, it's also colonial. But I say I tell people that in Quetzaltenango, we make even McDonald's look nice. Look, that corner, as you guys can see, I zoomed in. That restaurant is McDonald's, which we are familiar with. But look at the building. It's pretty, pretty nice looking. That is downtown Quetzaltenango. It's next to City Hall. To the right, it's not on our picture, but to the right of this, our right of this will be the cathedral. Pretty, pretty nice. But I was like, I'm not looking into going to the city. I showed up to Quetzaltenango. I showed up here, and I started going to my friends. I told them about the video that I had seen, and I told them I'm here and I want to help out. Over there, the school year is from January to October. I went there in the summer because we have the summers off. I was already a teacher. We had the summers off here, but over there, that's the middle of the school year. So I told them I want to go to a school. It's the middle of the school year. Once again, I want to go to a school and I want to help out. I want to teach what I can. Math, English, anything. I just want to go help out. I'm not asking for a salary. All I'm asking is for a roof over my head and something to eat. I can eat once or twice a day. I don't have to eat all three meals. I just want to go help out. So they're like, all right, if that's what you want, we're going to take you there. So they took me to a place called Santa Lucia La Reforma. The state is called Totonicapan. So I went to Santa Lucia, and then in there, first of all, when I was getting to Santa, the area was really, really nice. Let's see, this thing froze. Gotta love technology sometimes. Okay, so on my way to Santa Lucia, let me show you my view there. This was my way to Santa Lucia. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna go to a place that I'm gonna enjoy. There was one thing I was not too familiar with. We don't have here in Bakersfield. It's called clean air. It was really nice to breathe that. So I'm going there, but in order for them to have clean air, they need to have not as many cars as we do, not as many people as we do. Where we're going up a mountain. And so I was getting there. As soon as I got there, they figured I couldn't hang in a place that like the what I was asking, because I was asking for a place where people live for about $1 a day. So here we got to Santa Lucia, and I was like, it is a town, but I'm like, I can live here. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. And I saw this, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of people here. I can be here for a month. Not a big deal. Well, let me tell you that this right here, this picture is very, very crowded day. This is market day. Over there on Wednesdays, that's when people show up to sell things, and then you buy what you need, your groceries, your clothes, anything that they bring over that you can buy on Wednesday. You buy it because they're going to leave that afternoon and they're not going to come back till next Wednesday. So that's why they call it market day. That's the day for you to buy your stuff. It's not like here that like, oh, we want to buy something. We just go to the store and we buy it. Over there you have to wait till Wednesday. But this was the town. When I showed up, like I said, I told them I just need a roof over my head. They thought I was kidding, and I guess they wanted to test me. They took me to a place. They're like, all right, this is your room. They took me to a place where it was just dirt. So I really dug a hole. I dug a hole for the night. My towel, my towel was my blanket, and my sweater became my pillow. And I slept in dirt. I slept in dirt for the first night. The next morning, when I got up, I wanted to go to the bathroom. So I just get up and I greeted people there. One thing I told myself though, whatever you do, don't be rude because they are giving you what they have. So don't be rude. So I asked them for the bathroom. They gave me a bucket of water and they direct me to where to go. And I just went to the bathroom and I showed up to this. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, I understand what the bucket of water is for, to be able to flush it. I wish, I wish I could transfer the smell from this to you guys for you guys to feel what I felt. I'm gonna say, unfortunately, they aimed very bad. This place stunk. This place was very, very, the smell was bad. I am taking this picture almost from the opposite wall. My back was almost by the wall as I'm taking this picture, and where I'm standing from to take this picture, that's where people showered. And I was like, oh my God, if I take a shower here, I don't know if I'm gonna get cleaner or dirtier. I didn't want to shower there, but again, I wanted to not be rude. So I told them when I got out and they offered me a towel for me to take a shower, I said, no, no, that's fine. I showered yesterday and I don't shower every day, which I do. I really wanted to take a shower, but not there. And again, I didn't want to be rude. So I was like, no, no, I don't shower today. So they gave me food for the day, and then I went to the school. I met the principal, and then once I got to the school, there was something that I was like, oh my God, this is really cool. This was the school here, and as you guys can see, the container, the black container on the top, I was like, that's water. That means they have running water. I'm gonna be able to shower here. This door on the right, in there, on the very far right, the one that is open, it had a shower. So after school, I will come back to the school and that's where I will shower. You guys see this door here that has like a blue thing in there? That was the dishwasher. Dishwasher or in this case clothes washer as well. I will bring my clothes in there, my soap, and I will hand wash it. And I will take it to where I was staying. I will hang my clothes because at the time I only had, besides underwear, I only had two pair of pants and three t-shirts. I was like, I gotta clean him. I gotta clean him almost every day to be able to have clothes clean with me. So I will wash him there. I will shower here, and then I will go to my room. I did get a room afterwards. After here, after, for my second night, I did have a room. Let me show you guys my my room. This was it. This was my room. What I got. You guys can see it's a soda what I had there. Then I had the little stool that was my table, and this is where I was going to spend the next month. So in there, I was like, okay, I can hang in there. I started going to school. I started teaching high school. I started teaching elementary. I was a math teacher. I was an English teacher. I was a PE teacher as well because I used to coach soccer. So they were like, "Oh, it's soccer season." So all right, cool. I'll go teach soccer. And then I started teaching teachers how to teach. But I continued talking to friends there, and I was like, I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time here. I was getting to know people, and then there were actually times where I saw this. I still remember this one kid that I saw that he was too happy to have half of his shoe because he didn't have shoes. Not all of them had shoes. Most of them did, but there was a kid that was happy to have half a shoe. His toes were sticking out, but at least he had something on to cover most of his feet. Now in the school, they did all have clothes, but like I said, I was walking and meeting people. But then a friend of mine said, "You really want to go to poor place?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I missed school. I went to the principal's house. I knocked on her door and then I told her I was not going to go to work the next day because I was going to go with a friend of mine. So that day we decided to go on his motorcycle. So here it is. This is the road that we were going to take. And he said, "Well, just hang in there. Just hang on to the motorcycle." He gave me a box of vegetables in it, or like a seed that was growing. He's like, you're gonna be holding the box. I'm gonna be riding the motorcycle, and then we're gonna go somewhere." I'm like, sure. So we took off. We got to this school. We talked to the principal. We asked her for some land. Some land that we're gonna be using. And here we are. Here I am. I'm cleaning that area. My friend said there's some weed there. We have to remove all that. We had to even out the dirt. We had to make it soft. And then we're gonna make like he called it like little streets, like little piles. And then we're gonna call the students over. So I was like, all right, sure. That's what I'm gonna do. So here I am. I'm preparing the dirt. I'm gonna admit it, my friend was doing most of the work. I was helping as I could. Afterwards, we went over and we called the students. Let me show you guys a picture of my friend with the students. That's my friend on the right, and those are the students. He called them up, and then you guys see the box with our vegetables in there. Like I said, they were ready to be planted. It wasn't more than a seed. They were already growing. So he's telling them exactly what we're gonna do. And then he told me with the rake that we had, we even out the dirt, but then on the other end, we were going to use it to make holes on the dirt. And then the kids were going to come over and put the seeds in there. So let me show you guys. I took a picture of that as well. I guess I'm such a great worker. I take pictures, right? So here we are. Like I said, we're digging the holes. You guys can see here at the bottom, there's the hole that we dug. And then there they are. They're planting it. My friend gave him the seeds. He told him how to water it. And then he said, whatever grows out of there. He started telling them exactly what each of them were. Like, oh, all right, these are lettuce, these are radishes, these are whatever they were. I don't remember what they were, but he told them exactly what they were and how to take care of them. And then he said, whatever grows out of there is for you guys to eat. This is for you." But then he kept a few from the box. And I was like, why is he keeping some? So we were there, we had everybody helped us out. But then he was keeping an eye on those kids that were working the most. And then he picked about three of them, and then he gave them the seeds that he kept. He gave it to them he split it among all three, and then he said, "This is for you because you were working hard. You have earned this. Take it home, show it to your parents, plant it, and whatever grows out of here is for you guys to eat." So then they were there. And then we came back to the town. It was a great experience. I was very thankful. My friend, we're actually friends still. We do still talk. He has come to the US to visit me a couple of times. But then we went back to the town where we were staying. We went back to Santa Lucia, and then he took me to play. Let me show you guys our soccer field that we had. This was it. This was our stadium, our soccer stadium, we used to call it. We used to go play soccer there in the afternoons, whatever we could find to play with. We would go and just have fun. At the time, like I mentioned, I was a soccer coach and I used to complain about our soccer fields. Oh, there's a bunch of holes here. Oh, the dirt is not even. Our ball goes to the side. And I used to complain because I wanted to play ball. My technique was we were going to be running the ball by the side of the field. And because the fields were not even, my players sometimes would lose the ball. And like I said, I used to see that, but once I saw this, I'm like, why in the world am I complaining? Like seriously, why am I complaining? There's people that wish they had what I had. And then let me show you guys our water supply as well. We used to go in the afternoons to go be able to go get water. I bought a bucket on market day and I went to this water. As you guys can see, it's full of clay. And my thinking was, oh, dirt. It's not dirt, it's clay. But I was like, oh, it's dirt. Usually if you grab water that it's dirty, you just let it sit there and then the dirt's gonna go down and the water's gonna get clean a little. Well, let me tell you. I kept the bucket up there for 3 weeks. Did not touch it, did not move it at all for 3 weeks. And the water was still like that. It did not clean. The clay is not dirt. The same effect doesn't happen. We used to clean our hands without water. There was a place where I used to go in and eat, and they had a bucket of water they got from here, and then everybody will come in, put their hands in there, wash their hands, and then take their hands out, and then out and eat. Everybody will use the same water. Like I said, that's the process that they will do. I will go in there, and sometimes I was like, oh man, I don't want to be rude, but I don't want to get sick. I will come over, clean my hands with my clothes, like not putting my hands in there in the water, and I would just go in. I was like, oh man, I'm cleaning it with my own clothes the best that I can. And when they will ask me, what do you want to drink for today? And they will tell me, we got lemonade, we got watermelon drinks or water with flavored. And I wanted to go for the healthiest possible, knowing where they got the water from, wanted to go for the healthiest way possible. So I would drink soda because it was sealed and my body was used to it. And again, I didn't want to get sick. So that's what I went for. Now, like I said, people started talking about me. I started teaching people how to teach. There was an elementary school. Here, let me show you guys. That guy on the left, that's the principal. And then those guys sitting down, those are the teachers. They canceled school for the day and they asked me to come over and teach him techniques. And yes, I was teaching him techniques. I was teaching him how to multiply, little techniques on how to multiply, little ways of how to see mathematics. And then there were even things that I knew they knew how to do. There are some ways that I can show you guys how to multiply easier, but there are some ways that make it hard as well. And I did that to them. I was like, I know you know how to multiply, but let me teach you another way. And I knew it was a hard way. Let me teach you this way. And they were struggling. Again, I knew it was hard. And I told them, I'm not teaching you for this moment how to multiply because you know how to do that. I want to teach you to not forget what a student feels like. Teachers, sometimes we say things and we expect the students to learn just because we said it. And I told them, you struggle right now with something that you know. Your students will struggle with things that they don't know. So don't forget what it feels like to be a student. Something that they enjoyed. Like I said, I was teaching them, they were learning, I was learning from them as well. But this is a school. Then they started taking me, like I said, to other places as well. They will come pick me up in the mornings. Again, a motorcycle. Well, we'll get on the motorcycle. I will go who knows where. And I was teaching teachers. The area that in there, they started knowing me. I was going all over the state. Guatemala, as it is not that big. There are four Guatemalas. So the Guatemala, the country, fits four times in the state of California. So imagine Guatemala broken into 22 states. So each state is not that big, but I was going all over the state helping teachers, teaching them how to teach. There was a school that when I was working where I was amazed. I was like, wow. I saw something on the wall that I was like, wow, I see everything here has three names. Let's zoom into here. So the parts of the body. You guys see the first thing it says pie, which in English at the end you guys see it's foot. Pie in Spanish and foot in English. But then we have this other word here, acanaj. Acanaj is basically quiche. So in there, they were learning everything in Spanish, quiche, and English. Pierna, ra, leg. So I was like, whoa, they're learning everything in three languages. I have students that struggle with only one. I was like, whoa, that's amazing. But in there, that's what they had. I started picking up some of the language. I remember when I first got there, everybody like, Utsupetik. And I was like, holy smokes, what are they telling me? Are they telling me something bad? And I would just wave and I would smile. I was like, oh, I don't know what Utsupetik means, but that actually Uts means welcome. Ipetik means come. So good come, which means welcome. I learned that, like I said, I started picking up some things. And then one day we were even teaching them some Mayan numbers. We started teaching them how to write the Mayan numbers. In Mayan numbers, they only use three symbols: shells. As you guys can see, there's some shells, dots, and line segments. So in here, this kid came over and wrote the numbers. I even asked him, "Hey man, can I take a picture of your work so you guys can see all these numbers?" And I remember going in there, I was like, "Oots, oots," and they're like, "Orale, teacher knows how to speak Quiche now." Like I said, I was picking up some words, but yeah, these are the numbers, and we even had them. We told them, "Go out there. We're gonna tell you guys a number, and you guys are gonna represent it using your bodies." We separate into groups. Now, this number right here, you guys see it's a shell at the bottom, another shell here, and then the line segment. That's the number 2000. That's a number 2000 in there. Because we would just say, okay, the number 2000, and they will figure out what to do. We will change it to another number, like 136, and then they will figure what to do. So it was pretty cool. It was nice. They were learning the numbers, and that was the day I learned how to write Mayan numbers as well. Now, I was there, like I said, I was teaching a lot. I was, I'm gonna say the first night, my first day was hard, but I was there for a whole month that I enjoyed. I got to meet a lot of people. My thing was after seeing the video from the four guys in Haiti, I wanted to go to a place to be able to help out, and I did. My last day when I was coming back, I was riding on the back of the truck. We were just coming back, and I remember we dropped a guy that needed a ride, so we dropped him off there. But I'm the back of the truck, just looking back. People were very thankful. They came and they said that I was able to teach them a lot. But to be honest with you, I think on the exchange, I won because I was able to teach him math. I was able to teach him how to teach. Like I was teaching the teachers how to teach. I was teaching them some math, some soccer, some English. But they were teaching me how to value life. I think our exchange that we did, I think I came up. What I gave them is not that much compared to what they gave me. They came and they made me value what I have. I'm not gonna deny it. I'm not ashamed of saying it. But on my way back, my whole way back, I was crying. I was crying because of all the experiences that I lived there. And like I said, I came up big time. So I came over and asked my friend ChatGPT to help me with the picture, and this is what he gave me. It says, value what you have, and you gotta help others. Last week I showed you guys a video of four guys in Haiti for you guys to see what other people experience. This week I'm showing you guys a video of an experience that I lived when I went over and helped others. Now it's up to you. It's up to you. I'm suggesting you should value what you have and go and help others.